Dave, I want to ask you to tell us a little bit about it because in addition to the involvement that you have with American Pastors Network and have had since really the beginning, we look at the focus of the pulpit and what that needs to be done. You've been involved in D.C. with a ministry, HOPE Ministries, is something you started many, many years ago. And part of that, I think, you can clarify, but is help bring some encouragement, the truth of God's Word, into the lives of those who are in that city, involved in perhaps policies or laws, that kind of thing. But an event happened last week, actually a number of things, but one specifically occurred actually right in the U.S. Capitol there in the Rotunda. And I saw a little bit of a video piece that you sent by. A little girl was singing, and I thought, man, isn't it a pretty amazing thing? Tell us about it. What was the event there in the Capitol, and what was happening, and why did it take place?
Well, Sam, thank you for the opportunity to do that. Let me just give one quick clarification. HOPE Ministries International is the ministry that the Lord allowed me to found years ago. Hope to the Hill is a offshoot of that, a subset of that. It's our ministry that focuses on elected and appointed officials on Capitol Hill. But the event last week was called Christmas in the Capitol, and it was a ministry to try to bring about 200 people to Washington, D.C. at the Christmas season and to conduct 3 concerts over 4 nights in 3 different locations, one out in the Mount Vernon area, one actually at the Museum of the Bible. They have a large auditorium there, and then another one actually up on Capitol Hill. And the event you're referring to occurred kind of impromptu, Sam. We take after-hours tours of the U.S. Capitol when we have large groups in the city. Sometimes we'll have Congressman Louis Gohmert do the tour. Other times it'll be another congressman. Well, this particular night, it was Congressman Mark Walker from my state of North Carolina. And we get an after-hours tour of the Capitol, history of the building and of the city of D.C., the history really of our country. And then we conclude by gathering in the Capitol Rotunda. And if we have any musicians in the group, they're generally invited to sing. Well, of course, we had the almost 70-member Wilmington Celebration Choir who literally lit up the Capitol Rotunda with a beautiful song called I Go to the Rock. And then the little girl you referred to is actually not a little girl. She's 24 years old. Her name is Marlena Van Hoos. She was the young lady that sang at the President's 2016 inaugural prayer service at the National Cathedral and moved the First Lady to tears as she sang How Great Thou Art. She was invited to come and be a part of this event. And I leaned over to her and just said, Marlena, when the choir's done, can you sing something? And she just broke into Silent Night. And then the choir, the 70-member Wilmington Celebration Choir, unrehearsed, began to join in beautiful harmony with her. And it was one of the most beautiful renditions of Silent Night I've ever heard, and it just echoed through the Capitol Rotunda. There were people that were moved, I mean phenomenally moved. U.S. congressmen and congresswomen were in that group who were stirred by what they heard. Sam, in every way, it was a God moment.